Not I, but Christ, be honored, loved, exalted. Not I, but Christ, be seen, be known, be heard. Not I, but Christ, in every look and action. Not I, but Christ, in every thought and word. Let everyone say amen. Fake the new normal is what we are going to try and talk about in a very few minutes. Fake the new normal. There are three definitions that we are going to look at. First one is idolatry. Idolatry simply means idolatry. It simply means the religious worship of idols. The religious worship of idols. The religious worship of idols. An idol is an image or other material object representing a deity to which religious worship is addressed. An image or other material object representing a deity to which religious worship is addressed. That's an idol. Remember what we said, idolatry is the religious worship of a physical or material object. And that's what idolatry is. Webster then defines normal. Oh, we've gone to school. We might forget what normal actually means. So, I just wanted to highlight to you that normal is conforming to a type, standard, or regular pattern. So normal is conforming to a type, a standard or regular pattern. So you are conforming to a pattern. The pattern of behavior, a pattern it then becomes normal in your life. Taona Nyasha is here also. Where is Taona? Yeah, okay. Yes, I saw him somewhere. Want to recognize my children who are here. Obviously, Zukuru. Pastor, I forgot to mention Mangwiro. Glad to be with you in your own house. I hope I don't disturb your house as we conclude this passage, this service this morning. So normal is, and we can give an example of normal working hours. Means that it's 8 to 5. Isn't that so? And so 8 to 5, I don't know who decided that 8 to 5 were the hours to work. But when it became a pattern, it became normal. So when you go to work, in your mind you are expected to start at 8. In your mind at 5 you are shutting down. It has become what? It was defined by someone else. Okay? So that is an example of a normal child. We expect them that they listen to their parents. That's a normal child, isn't it? When you don't listen to your parents, then we don't think that you are normal. Then we start going to the doctor to try and find out what is wrong with this child, because we think that they are not what? Normal. Then we have the word that is called fake. Fake can be it's not true. not real, not genuine, counterfeit. So there must be a proper thing for us to talk about something which is fake. There must be a real thing. There must be a genuine thing for us to then begin to talk about something which is fake. Isn't that so? He was wearing a fake mustache. So it means that he does not have a what? And he then put a what? So that he behaved as if he had a what? When he actually doesn't have what? To present to someone else that he is what he is not. She smiled the fakest smile to present to someone else that you are smiling, but someone can tell that this is fake. And the person who can tell usually that it is fake, it is the person who is actually doing the act, the smiling. Others might struggle to see whether it is fake. But the one who is smiling knows, this is fake. There was a time when we were doing evangelism, we were asked to participate. Hi, Tawanda. How are you? That we must go and present a fixed smile when we present ourselves. So we were taught how to present ourselves with a smile, albeit a fake smile. Are you following? So that the person may perceive us to have this joy to be with these people when we actually are not sure whether we have that joy. Are you following? Fake smile. When we talk about fake, let's just pause a little moment. This is not our subject, but we are going to be... children, young people, we are obsessed with fake things. Yeah? Remember, look at what you are wearing today. Someone is wearing a Louis Vuitton belt, a Prada belt, Bellucci shoe, Gucci. Yeah? Presenting what you are not with. You can't afford it. Why wear it? So you want to present this image of who you are not. Huh? So when people see you, and now they make them to look like, we make them to look like. So when you are presenting it and you have got that belt, they will say, Louis Vuitton. But you know, it is not Louis Vuitton. Huh? You can't afford it. Why wear it? Louis Vuitton dress. Now the ladies, because you are obsessed with Louis Vuitton bags, the men are good at getting you fake Louis Vuitton bags. So that you then begin to think that this man is exactly what he is. You think that he is that when he is not. So when you love him, because of the bag he gave you, you are going to find out when you get into the home that there is no Louis Vuitton in that home. Are you with me? Yes. I want to encourage you, my brothers and sisters. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. Don't buy it. It's not for you. How do you then inspire to be when you have what you don't have? When you want to get that, you must aspire to be there. So that when you have it, it becomes acceptable. You begin to enjoy it. Are we with together? Yes. Inspiration is from not having it. You can't inspire, you can't want to have to, but we can't afford it. Can't afford it. And then we want to wear it. Or then want to have it. Fake is someone who wants to buy a car when they can't even afford to live. Everyone is hey, I want to have a car. So everyone here comes driving a car. Look at the cars that are here. You think that everyone is when they are not. And we see it by your tithing and your offering, that you don't have it. You don't. You are trying to be who you are not. Fake is someone who comes from Chitungwiza to come and attend a church at Highlands. Get $2, $4 to go just to come in. Where do you attend church? Highlands. At the seat of power. When you are not. Where are you an elder? At Highlands. When you are not. When you get home, you then start asking, can I have? You start coming. You are living a life that is not you. How are you inspired? How are you inspired? How are you inspired? How are you inspired? If you don't, that's a fake life. That's a fake life. And all of us, and now it has become normal. You know? That has just become normal, isn't it? People, let's just, please, I hope I'm not going to be out of 10. We want to live a life that is not our life. Those who are listening to my voice, you see me, you want to live like me. You can't. You want to live like, I want to be like Elon Musk. I can't. I want to be like Bill Gates. I can't. Bill Gates is Bill Gates. I am me. I must be comfortable of who I am. If I can stop here, no? Fake, the new normal. Look at our fingers. We want to paint them. We want to brush ourselves. We want to look. Have you ever seen the pictures that are on WhatsApp now? We want eyelashes. We want, so then this girl, when you then see her, you know, my wife knows this, that I wanted to be like who she is. I even tell her, don't cut your hair. We were not gifted with hair in our home. So the hair came with hair. But unfortunately, my daughter doesn't have it. My sons don't have it. It only remained with hair. And yet when we paid Lobola, that's what we were looking for. We want some change. But I love her for her simplicity. Because when I go to work, I see her. When she comes back, I see her. When she sleeps next to me, I see her. When she wakes up, I see her. There is no difference. It is always. Apana chinochinja. And then unoona vanhu kupoda. And then when you look at now, these people have Facebook, iPhone, and all, have now technology where you can clean up your picture, and then you place it on your profile. So when they are looking at you, they say, "Ooh, look at you, she's so light." Or he saw this. They put a beard now. Fake! Fake lifestyle. If you can't afford it, don't have it. Is that okay? Yes. Yes. Fake. But now that it has become a new normal, a business has been created in China that is just making fake things. It is now a multi-billion business to support Africans. Who want to live a fake life. Because it has been recognized that Africans don't want to work for their things. Venus, Emmanuel Kumalo, the other day, long time ago, he says to me, I'm Goma. $1. And I say, what is my $1? He says, my $1 socks. So you wear socks for 1 day, and then by the end of the day, each must be torn. It doesn't leave. The purpose is for you to go wearing what? So that you can be said you are wearing what? And at the end of the day, it is finished. You can't even use it anymore. And that culture of fakeness does not start from us. It comes from fear. Fear that what is this next person going to think about me? Then therefore, I must be like this so that they might be able to accept me. It comes from people who are around us, who make us believe that we are not adequate the way we are. In fact, they don't mind who we are. It is ourselves who think that maybe we don't fit with them, and hence we want to be. Have you ever tried just to be you and see whether you are not going to be accepted? We are afraid of people. People have become our enemy as young people. People have become, and these people, we don't find them here. They're not seated in these pews. They are where you spend most of your time. That's why you are dressed the way you are right now. With jeans, no socks, because it is fashionable there. You want to bring it here. We don't have ties today. We are wearing t-shirts because we have this fear that what are they going to say about me? say about me? You don't want to associate yourself with an Adventist. And then you then begin to make that normal. You then bring it here. And then you start reading passages. Or you start going back to history. No, this is not our way of... You are making it a what? Normal. Look at us. The way we are right now has become normal. So that we can fit with the people who are not even here. They're not even here. Who are your friends? They're not here. And those are the ones whom you want to fit with. And that then becomes normal. Okay. Let's make it a bit lighter. Afternoon, I thought we were going to be speaking as young people. Now we have been put together as adults. I was going to be talking about how to make money. But now we are going to be adults. I have to change the subject because, subjects, when adults hear how to make money, they will be afraid, isn't it? So I'll couch that slightly differently. But for you, you now know that we're going to be talking about how to make money with adults. Is that okay? So you know that. Now, let's read the verse so that it did not start with us about this fear of to have fear, and then you want to fit in. Did not start with us. It started, there's a gentleman by the name of Jeroboam. You know him? Now, Jeroboam, you go from 1 Kings chapter 11 to chapter 14. That's where you find the story about Jeroboam. Jeroboam was a young man. He was of the house of Ephrathites. So they are the Ephraimites, right? Ephraim, for those who know, angari mwana wa Joseph. Now this man was a hard-working young man. And he didn't decide. He was so hard-working that Solomon decided that while Solomon was ruling Israel, Jeroboam was going to be in charge of the house of Joseph. Now, because of the behavior, Solomon, in that he was bringing in many women and marrying many women, these many women brought their gods. And their gods began to be worshipped in Israel. And so, God was not happy with Solomon. And he says, I want to take away this kingdom from Israel. But for the sake of David, his father, I will not do that. I will take the bulk of the nations and I will leave him with just one. That's what the book says. So he sends Ahijah and he tears the garment from him. And then a garment of leadership of Joseph. But then he says, as I have torn this garment, you are going to be the king of Israel, except for Judah. Are you following me? That's the beginning of Jeroboam, chapter 11. Chapter 12. So, I don't know how Solomon got to wind of this, and he started chasing this man away. And he was chased, and he ran away to Egypt. And when Solomon died, he then came back. And I will not belabor you with the points, but at the end of it, the nations were split, and Jeroboam took 10 of those nations. Are you following? And then he then built 2 cities. one called Peniel, and the other one called Shechem in Ephraim, where he was, that was his seat. Then, now, before I go there, do you know where democracy started? Democracy started with the appointment of Jeroboam. How many of you know democracy in the kingdom? Because after Jeroboam led them to the revolt against Rehoboam, the people said, it's also we want you. Who said we want you? The people said democracy is when the people, people power. They wanted you to become the king. So there was God who had already decided, and then people said, we want you the king. So Jeroboam was now the king. He had built his cities. And you know what he decided to do? He says, when he was sitting in his home, he then said, these people must go and worship. Where will they go to worship? If they go to Jerusalem, ndaphera. Ndiani ari kufunga izvi? Akagara mumba mane. What are people going to say when they go? Then I am going to make it easy for them, so that they will not desire to go back to Jerusalem. So he built 2 calves, and he made them beautiful of gold. And then he made them, one to be at Bethel and another one to be at, one at Bethel and one in Dan. 2 of them. Now, Bethel, for those who know, symbolizes something. I'm not going to go there. So people were comfortable now going to worship. Where? And when he did it, Pastor, he then says, I am going to build a similar structure, like a sanctuary service, where at Bethel and at Dan, 2 places, so that they don't walk too far. But I'm going to build. But when I've done it, I also need priests. So he then decided to say, okay, I'm going to decide who the priests are. Arega, because of fear, and he chose priests from everyone. And yet it was designated that the house of Levi were supposed to be priests. And he chose everyone. And there they were. They were going to worship. At that point, there was a new sin that was devised, which is called the sin of Jeroboam. The sin of Jeroboam, it was to worship God, to worship God, the Almighty, in the form of an idol. Are you following? So he put God, the Almighty, in the form of an idol. So when people were going to worship, they were not worshiping Ashtoreth. They were not worshiping anyone, any of those Baal gods. They were worshiping God while looking at an idol. And it was called the sin of Jeroboam. It is to bring an idol. As then onamata idol uchiti uri kunamata Mwari. Are you following? And this is, and they call it the sin of Jeroboam. And it became normal For 200 years, from 930 BC to about 740, 720 BC, when the Assyria destroyed them, 10 times, 10 to 15 times, God was saying, this king followed his grandfather, Jeroboam, son of Nabat. Kwatova nechitema muBhaibheri chinonzi chaJeroboam. Now, chitema ichi ndo chazara muchisabato. Chekuti tinotora idol, tinonatsiridza tinonatsiridza temple yedu, tonamata Mwari, tichimunamata is the behavior yechiidol. Tonamata Mwari. Chii chaichiwa naJeroboam, what was he afraid of? He was afraid of people. What are people going to say? 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 And yet, who appointed him? His appointment was before time. His appointment was before time. But then we're afraid of people. The very people that God gave him are the very people he was afraid of. Those who are listening to my voice, we are seated at the seat of Jeroboam, where we worship in a manner that want to please the people around us. We want to be like them, so we want to worship like them, so that we might fit in. We want to worship like them, so we want to fit in. So it is easy kuti unoita Louis Vuitton, risiri Louis Vuitton, unoisa ma-eyelashes asiri eyelash, unouya kuzonamata kuno kuHighlands usingagari kuno kuHighlands usingazviafodi. Zvese zvinozviita kuti uite fitting, kuti uite an experience yeworship isiri yako. Kuti uite worship experience. Saunza ka worship experience aka wokaita. Let the Pentecostals worship the Pentecostal way. Let the Adventists worship the Adventist way. Let the Adventist wear the Adventist way. Let you speak the Adventist way. Please eat the Adventist way. Yes, you are in a separate land, but eat the Adventist way. Speak the Adventist way. Walk the Adventist way. Nothing wrong with it. Follow the word of the Lord. You will be all right. Don't fear anyone. Pane chinhu chandisingatyi. Handityi munhu. Ndinotya Mwari. Hatityei Mwari. Hatityei Mwari. Hatityei Mwari. hatitye Mwari. Hatitye Mwari. Ka fake life kauda kurarama. Wakapinza experience yedu church. Kasiyozo. Ngunamata uite msavata. Hazvina kuipa. Ndiritesa. Musaunze. Zvinhu zvenyu panapa. Iye zvino muchisabata. Kune vanhu vari kuadvocata kuita magay. Kuti tinamate tose. Handi? So that we can be acceptable. Tese. Pana vanhu vari kuita. I didn't write any notes. The first time I've done it. I just wanted to speak to you as young people. You are the future of the church. Be careful of the sin of Jeroboam. Amen. That it might not sit with you because you are afraid of people. Be careful of the sin of Jeroboam. You are not made beautiful but by what you don't have. You don't have a worship experience by what you don't have. You just have a normal worship experience. And it will be okay. Young people, you are the future of this church. Father, which art in heaven, I might have spoken out of 10. Forgive me. Please forgive me. This is the future of the church. Let them not have the sin of Jeroboam, of trying to fit in.